Hi, I'm Rob,
I'm Gray.
and this is the first episode of Rob and Gray Review.
Yep, we just came out of Happy Death Day. Horrible movie experience. Not because of the movie, because of the
Movie-going
people in the
experience.
movie. Holy crap! There was literally someone with a friggin' laser pointer pointing it at the screen while we
An
were watching
entire
it.
other group of people just
Just-
talking.
it was awful. But enough about our actual experience with the theater itself. The movie, surprisingly okay.
I was kind of expecting crap.
Me too. I was absolutely expecting crap. Kind of watched the trailers. It's kind of the vibe you get. It's like,
I was expecting crap. I was expecting good crap. I got just a pretty good movie.
yeah. Okay. So Happy Death Day is about a girl who
Is being murdered.
Yep. She wakes up one morning after being in a dorm room with some guy. She goes throughout her day. You know, she does the typical Groundhog Day thing where she notices things that any normal person in any other movie or real life would never
just
bother
utterly
to notice.
ignore.
But because it's a movie about her reliving the same day over and over again, it has to show that she's noticing it. And then, lo and behold, she gets murdered at the end of the night. So, you know, rinse, repeat. So, first things first, I think we should talk about the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
There's, I'm pretty sure,
This kind of factors into experience, which we will talk about later.
No real actors of note in the movie, I believe. The main
No
character
names.
might be memorable, might be known to some people. I don't know her real name.
No big names.
Yeah, she looks familiar. She might be from like a TV or show or something or another. But honestly, pretty good experience from all the actors. Most of them. I'm sure there's a few that I'm just forgetting that were kind of crappy, but
Nobody had enough. Either you were an important character to the plot,
so you
and
stayed.
you were pretty decent,
Yeah.
or you were
A
okay
side
and-
character that you really didn't pay attention to enough to know whether or not they were good at acting. So acting wise, pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the acting was
We'll go
was
into
solid.
everything more as we reach the part of the review.
So the movie was what, hour and 38 minutes?
Hour 36.
Hour 36.
Not counting credits.
Not counting credits. I have to say, I guess we'll go into the first part now, which is story, and again,
We'll actually do the rating first.
the rating of the story first.
The rating of everything first, and we'll break down the why as we get to it.
Okay, well, we'll do a little bit of a non-spoilery why, and then go deeper into it when we go into the spoiler section. We want to give them a little bit. So story for me, I'd give a solid 7.
I agree with the 7.
The story had good pacing, I believe. It's a very good. It keeps you guessing
It's a
throughout
nice whodunit, and the whodunit works.
Yes, I know. I'm not. I kind of went into this movie. I have no idea why. I kind of went into this movie expecting for it to be a horror, and getting out of the movie and thinking back to it, there's really no reason I
It's
should
more of
have
a thriller,
thought. It's
more of a thriller
absolutely.
comedy.
It's absolutely a thriller with some good splashes of comedy. There is some comedy in the movie.
It does a
and
nice job of making
yeah,
light of itself.
none of the comedy felt out of place. It didn't feel like, oh, well, this kind of just feels shoehorned in here because people need to laugh. No, I think it was.
The story rolled nicely. It was a understandable progression, and I say the story was pretty solid.
Yeah,
It was a solid 7.
So now we'll go into experience to get a little bit further into what experience is. Experience is things like, you know, how we felt throughout the movie, how the movie looked, pacing,
How it felt. Pacing apparently falling under multiple categories.
Pacing's very important in every movie. This isn't going to apply so much to this movie, but in future movies, experience will also go into special effects, things like that.
They did very
There
little.
were a few things that the movie did that were really cool special effects wise. We'll get into that later in the
There was
spoilery
like one
bit.
big moment
There
that was like,
I think there was two. There was two I can think of that were pretty cool, but we'll get into that later. And then finally, the end.
we didn't actually give a rating for experience.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
Also,
First time,
a
here you
solid
go.
7.
I give the experience an 8 myself. I thought it was a very enjoyable movie. And finally, we'll go to the end.
The end of the movie, it wrapped itself up very nicely.
Yep.
I would easily say a 4.
The ending. I'm not sure.
We mentioned in our breakdown, our pre
that
episode.
Story would be 1 to 10, experience 1 to 10, but end is 1 to 5. And I completely agree with Robert. I would give the ending a 4. I thought it was it paid off very well.
If you were paying attention, there were details that do really nicely.
Yeah, that implicate what's going on, and
you can't say a ton about the end without going into the spoilers.
So we'll touch back into that.
We will touch back onto that.
I think overall it was a really pleasurable movie experience. I'm glad I saw it in theaters, despite how unfortunately awful this experience was. But that has nothing to do with the movie.
So from me, it's an 18, and from you, it's a 19.
Yeah. So I guess we're doing
25.
25. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. All right.
So
that was
multiply that by 4 if you want to grade.
So that was our spoiler free. If you're interested in it, I recommend. I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. If you want to wait,
it was solid in theaters.
If you want to wait, you're not gonna miss.
Probably a certain amount it might lose on.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss out on not seeing it in theaters. But I enjoyed seeing it in theaters. But that's it for the spoiler free part. So
we're gonna be moving on to our breakdown of why we liked the story, of what paid off.
Yep.
Minus the ending.
Alright, so, fair warning, spoiler alert, we will be getting into spoilery stuff, so...
We'll probably put up a little graphic.
Yeah, some kind of graphic that I'll haphazardly throw. I was gonna say throw together Microsoft Paint, but Microsoft Paint doesn't exist anymore. R.I.P. in peace. Okay, so yeah, if you want to go see the movie, I highly recommend it, and then come back and watch our spoiler part. And if you don't care about spoilers, like my friend here, who I've successfully made not go into spoilers anymore, so we're not biased into any of our reviews, so
if I know we're not reviewing something, I'm totally looking it up on Wikipedia.
Because he's an awful buzzkill. But that's the topic for another video. But yeah, okay, so spoiler warning. That's all done and good. We've had our fancy, amazing, not garbage graphic go up. So the story. So the main character, Tree, or was it Teresa is her full name?
Teresa's her full name, but everyone calls her Tree.
Which was very confusing at the beginning. I've never heard Tree as a... I mean, it's not bad.
If she was more of a hippie, I'd guess.
So, it follows her throughout her death days. So the story starts off, she gets really confused when she dies the first time, comes back.
It progresses logically. I like,
yes.
Like, she's a little thrown off at first, and then everything slowly builds to the moment where she died initially, where she's kind of like, no.
Yeah, she does try to fight back the second time.
She completely avoids the way that she died the first time.
Which works.
I liked it being the final straw in her day, where it's just like, everything else has been the same.
She saw that music box again, and she was like, no, screw this. Then she goes to a party. Turns out to be a surprise party. I don't remember his name.
She punched Nick was his name.
Yeah, so a guy.
He did not fucking matter.
She opens the door. She opens the door to the guy. He looks just like the killer. Punches him in the face, but no, it was just this kid Nick wearing the thing. And from there it goes into she gets killed again, obviously, and it just kind of progresses further and further with her dying. And then it gets to this bit of a montagey part, which I actually thought was very good. The montagey part was actually a good bit of comedy in it.
A good bit of comedy and an additional bit of logical progression.
Logically progressing on
scratching off who might be killing her. Who
might have been killing her as the days go on. And it was a nice little breakup in the...
I like that she never suspected the actual killer.
Yeah, she didn't. She really didn't. To spoiler, the actual killer is, of course, her roommate. And there's very little nods throughout the movie that she's the killer. Just
little things that are understandable progression.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep using that word, progression.
When she throws away the cupcake the first time, it's surprising because the roommate doesn't really react too much.
No, she does react. It's like, I made that from scratch.
Yeah, but...
She's kind of hurt by the act of it.
Yeah, but... It's understandable they don't want to blow their load on who the killer is immediately.
Oh, yeah.
But...
It gives it a nice whodunit feel.
So, okay.
Where you're suspecting everyone, like,
no trust. One thing
trust.
about the story that Robert and I kind of were a little annoyed about was each day she's leaving, what's the kid's name, Carter?
Yeah.
leaving Carter's room at different times. She's either leaving
this-
much earlier or she's leaving much later. But when she gets outside,
She's consistently changing her time depending on how much she's talking to Carter.
or how quickly she's just getting out of the room because she's freaked out. But when she leaves,
Everything always follows
everything
the exact same
exactly the same.
progression
And that's an
at the
incredibly
exact same point in her walking down the path.
it's an incredibly small gripe to have.
It's a little thing, but
it was definitely noticeable.
in a movie that's continuity is literally one single day over and
Yeah.
over. To have this one little detail be so perfectly synced to her
Yeah.
instead of to the actual world is a problem.
It's a little bit of a problem, but it really didn't hamper the experience whatsoever.
No, it's one of those little things that keeps it from being.
Yeah, and so the reveal at the very end when she's really confused, she thought she killed the killer. She goes home with Carter after a day of her just being an excellent person.
I was sitting there the entire time like, I need her to have this perfect day of her being great to everyone, killing the killer, and then dying.
Yeah,
That's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, he's a dick, as you can see. But anyway, like, she's doing all these fantastic things. She signs the girls' global warming thing. She helps the people
Kinda
who
makes your
are...
day just that little bit better.
Helps the people who are getting sprayed by the sprinklers, or well, tries to. Puts a pillow under the one guy's head who passes out of the sortie. That was really cute. But my favorite part of all of that was when she told Tim, I think his name was. The guy,
yeah, the gay guy.
So she, in a previous, during the montage, she finds out that he's gay, and when she meets him in the little
In the
cutoff
nice
thing
day.
he does, in the nice day, she's super supportive of him and telling him, like, go get yourself a hot piece of man ass, and it was really nice. And then
Just really helping him out of there.
yeah, so it was really nice on that day, but then she dies anyway because she goes home with Carter after killing the
I
killer.
was also a fan of her being super nice to the girl on the doorstep.
All she did was say hi.
That's all she wanted.
Yeah.
She was so happy by it. Just
So then they get to the end. Which honestly, she like puts a knife up to the cop's throat, who's protecting the and I'm watching that
criminal
and I'm just like,
All right, there's this subplot about the criminal that killed her mother, and it's
wait,
so.
did she kill it? Wait, what?
I'm almost certain that was one of the women that was on the.
I didn't.
In the TV
I
thing.
didn't pick up on that. So I'm not saying that's true or untrue because it's something I
That's
didn't
what
pick
I
up
think
on.
was supposed to be
I
the
mean, if-
implication.
I don't know. If so, that I really feel like she didn't react to him nearly as much if she did kill his mother. But that's we're getting a little bit off topic here. So
But
she my one gripe with that was that she held the knife up to the police officer's neck, made him stand up, took his gun, which makes sense. She wants to kill the guy, but that police officer's still gonna remember that you took his knife, put a knife to his throat, and then stole his gun. You're not getting away from that. He saw your face.
I feel like the fact that in that timeline she then proceeded to kill herself was
Not
that
per-
was
no,
that
no,
when
no.
she
That
killed
was
herself?
that's when the cupcake. That's the
Okay,
cupcake.
okay.
So
But-
she gets.
She then proceeded to kill a criminal that had already broken free. She was
Yeah.
warning the guy and telling him to get
That's
help.
that's fair, but she still held a knife up to a police
Yeah,
officer's
she's probably
neck.
not getting away completely scot-free,
Yeah.
but the guy's probably going to be like, okay, I understand what happened.
Yeah, so that happens. She kills the guy, goes home to Carter. They're having this little 16 candles-esque thing where they're sitting in front of
They
each
did.
other.
I did not
Yeah,
realize
I
that.
literally just thought of it just now when I was thinking about it. So it's this little 16 candles-esque thing. She's holding the cupcake that her roommate made for her.
Make a wish, it's already come true.
Yeah. She eats it, and then goes
Then she goes
sleep.
to sleep and she thinks that she's going to wake up the next day, but
She doesn't. She wakes up and she realizes she still is dead. So basically, all the nice shit she did the previous day, reconciling with her father, that's something
that's
we didn't
just all
touch on.
gone.
All gone.
And she does nothing to fix it.
oh
She
no!
just
well,
goes
oh,
along
she's
her
freaking
day.
out because she thought she
Yeah,
finally
she
did
just
it.
goes along her day. She goes and she reaches the point where she's talking to her
Roommate.
roommate, and it all just clicks together.
She's sitting there. The roommate offers the cupcake. She's like, "I don't want the cupcake. I ate it already." And then it kind of clicks that she ate it last night and died in her
and
sleep.
that was the only time she had eaten it.
Mm-hmm.
If we're
So
suddenly brighter, the car in front of us has their lights on.
yeah, that's the kind of the negative of recording on a car. But you know what? It's also
Yeah.
part of the charm.
Everything's authentic, folks.
Everything's authentic. I mean, we literally just came out of the movie like 20 minutes ago. But anyway. So
right.
they get into a bit of a scuffle in the room after. So it's
now we're getting into the end, and we'll just kind of.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot the end was a separate category. Okay, so going back to the experience. So yeah, I thought the pacing was really good.
It all rolled along very nicely. It all made sense. It was all understandable.
There wasn't like a lot of like random jumps or cuts that didn't make sense.
It didn't cut that much. It didn't. It was everything was thin, but substantial enough.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything especially unnecessary.
I'd have to like double check this, maybe if it comes out on DVD or something like that, but she does say in the movie that she's died 16 times.
Yes, she said that.
So I'm actually interested if she has died 16 times in the movie. I obviously
feel
wasn't
like there was
keeping
ones
count.
that we did not see.
There was probably was, but I'd be interested to check myself. But
I think that there's probably like about 6 we didn't see, because I would believe that there was about 10.
Yeah. So the pacing was really good. The comedy bits were really funny. There were some really funny parts in the movie. I mean, at least to us, it's pretty easy to make us laugh. You might not find it very funny yourself. Also, did you just see my co-host here yawning on camera? I mean...
I have a very, very, very different schedule than this man.
I woke up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon today.
I woke up at 7:30.
That's when I went to bed. Anyway.
I'm used to waking up at about 5:30.
So that's the pacing. I think the pacing was very good. There wasn't many special effects things in the movie, but there were 2 things that I really liked. At one point, she dies from the killer from getting hit in the head with a bat. You see this in the trailer.
It was really nicely done.
Yeah, so she gets
also
hit.
one of the only deaths that made me genuinely uncomfortable. Just this wet splat as it hits her on the side of the head.
Blork. And she like falls, and then she falls onto her pillow. But then again, it's shown in the trailer, so honestly, we could probably
trailers generally
show too much anyway.
They always give away some of the best feeling
I'm
moments.
actually now realizing the other cool effect thing I want to talk about is also in the trailer, which is when she dies in the car explosion and she wakes up and the fire's all in her irises still. That was also in the trailer, but also an effect I really liked.
And it brings me to something I noted earlier. That was way over the top.
Car explosion! Every movie gets it ridiculous. That car exploded like it had 10 tons of dynamite inside of it when all it was just a gas leak. Like, why do people who make movies think that
generally accepted things?
Like, why do people who make movies think that if you light a fuel tank on fire, every single bit of the car is going to explode and pume out all of these fire? It's like, no, it's a gas tank. Gas is not the car is not a human being. It doesn't have veins and shit bringing gas throughout every single part of it.
I don't know anything about cars, but to my knowledge, it's just the one gas line
that bleeds right to the tank, to the engine. I also don't know anything about cars. That's probably painfully accurate now at this point.
All right. Anyway, the other effect that you said that you were not a fan of.
You
said there was a second one
that I wasn't a fan of. You know, I probably completely said this, and
you said that there was
if I'm good at editing whatsoever, I'll cut back to that and put it in. But no, I'm pretty sure
just this slow motion of you saying it.
No, I talked about the 2 I want to talk about already. The head thing and the fire. I do vaguely remember saying there was one I didn't like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But I cannot...
I was saying that there was one that I didn't like, and you said you could think of 2 that you didn't like.
No, I could think of 2 that I did like. What was the one you didn't like?
I didn't like how huge the car explosion was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was the only over-the-top bit of...
I'm going to kick myself, because as soon as we finish this recording, I'm going to remember what it was.
Probably.
Oh, well, I'm sure if you go to watch it yourself, you could probably figure out what it was, but I completely forgot. Okay, so that was our spoilery explanation for the experience. Now, finally, to the end.
We didn't really have a lot to say about the experience.
No, because it's not...
We'll get into more details as we continue to grow as reviewers.
Yeah, like, we completely plan on reviewing Star Wars. That's going to be a whole different ride. It's Star Wars. There's shit tons of CGI and special effects, and that's going to be a different story. So look out for...
This is more of a subdued coming out of a movie. Like, most of the movies we've ended up seeing in theaters, we come out of like, holy crap!
That was awesome! Or in the one case, when we saw the new Fantastic Four movie, we were just
sad.
Oh, that movie was awful. Anyway,
it didn't even have
Alright, listen, that's not the movie we're reviewing here, okay? So going into the end. So this is where we'll
They
come
had a
out.
villain for like 10 minutes.
There was no twist. I mean, I guess you could say there was a twist, but it was a thriller.
It's a whodunit.
Every
so
whodunit has
the
a
revelation
twist.
of the
It's
killer.
just an answer. It's the
Yeah.
answer to who the killer was. So it turning out, I personally didn't really pick up on the signs. I know you said that you were kind of.
I suspect everyone in something like that.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But I was picking up on the little details as it went along, because you get these little nods from the moment she starts with the cupcake.
The cupcake's the first nod. The second nod is when she goes. Something we haven't touched on is the affair she's having with her professor.
It's barely a part of the
It's
story.
barely a
but
part of the movie, but
it does play in.
It plays in because that's the reason that her roommate, who for the life of me, I don't even think they gave a name in the movie.
Lori.
Lori. Okay, see, he pays attention. I just look pretty.
Wow, I need a new co-host if that's the case.
So Lori, in one of the, I think it's the first time she dies, the first go through of the day.
The first time they go through the day, she goes to have her affair with the professor
At the hospital.
and the roommate works at the hospital, and she
like-
she gets very intense about knowing that she's having the affair with the professor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite get the direction. I knew it was
A nod that
A
like
nod
you
that
shouldn't be
something's-
doing this. I think she said like, if you do this, bad things will happen.
there's
Or-
consequences.
Yes, exactly. So that was the first nod.
Then we get to the she says something on her good day to the friend, which I'm actually realizing now probably wasn't meant to be the tip that it was to me.
Mm-hmm.
She says, good luck with your mystery man. And my first thought was, okay, who's her mystery man? Why does she have a mystery man?
Right, and of course the mystery man turning out to be the killer, the other killer.
The other killer.
So there is two killers. Most of the time Lori kills her, but there are a few
There are
times
a
when
couple
she
of times when
doesn't.
she just takes advantage of a
there's
hospitalized killer.
There's a killer on the loose. They just caught him, and since Lori works at the hospital, she's able to.
My belief is that it's the killer that killed the main character's mom 3 years earlier.
Yeah, it could have been. Though it never really.
If that's the case,
it never says.
it's an understated
but
detail
it
that her
never
mom's
says-
dead in the first place.
Yeah, but it never says how she dies. It definitely never said she was murdered. It just said that their mom died 3 years ago. My personal, my
recognition,
stamp of opinion is that her mother just died of some natural causes. Anyway, so there were definitely a few nods that Lori was the killer. And
I was steadily unraveling it, and it hit the moment in the 16 Candles moment. She mentions that they never found out how the guy got free from his
yes, that's very true.
confinement
It's a big nod
in
and
the hospital.
basically as
and I was
soon
just
as-
like, well, wait, who has access and who do we know isn't a killer?
Exactly. And then so she goes there. She's freaking out because she woke up on the same day when she thought she killed the killer.
She's kind of just in a throw everything, give up mood, and she
Yeah.
goes home and she gets offered the cupcake.
And that's when she's like, I already ate your stupid cupcake yesterday, and then things click in her brain.
And
Cupcake's
she
poison.
puts all the pieces together.
And she starts, threatening.
and the freaking roommate is just like cracking. Just
yeah, like it's so funny
like
to
a
see.
freaking Stepford
It's so
wife.
funny to see her because all the other people in the movie, they haven't been going through the same day over and over again, obviously. So it's so funny to see her looking like, how the fuck does this bitch know that the cupcake's poison? How the fuck does this bitch know about that I know the murderer in the hospital? How does she know all these things? So they get into a scuff in the bedroom, and she fucking like Jackie Chan grabs the chandelier and kicks her out of the window after shoving
they
the
have the whole
cupcake in her
fucking
face.
thing, and she looks up at the chandelier thinking to herself, she must have been thinking to herself, how can I do this in the most ridiculous way possible?
It's like some Batman Telltale game stuff where you just look up at the chandelier, you click it, and you click down at her, and then bam, it happens.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a
they
good
missed out
ending.
on an opportunity in my eyes, because just before this happened, Lori had called to their sorority sister that Tree had just fallen, and then she kicks her out a fucking window as if to say, don't worry, Lori just fell.
Yeah, so all in all, I was extremely impressed by the movie. It's definitely not the best
I
thriller.
was impressed from what I expected it to be.
Yes,
it was
exactly.
better than I was
Definitely
expecting.
wasn't like the best thriller ever made, but when you go into it's weird. I was a little worried going into this movie that it would be really bad which I thought was going to give me a bias to look at the movie was really bad, but instead it put me at a bias to look at the movie as being very good because my expectations were so low.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, definitely a good movie. I recommend seeing it either in theaters or if you're fine waiting, renting it on Redbox or something like that.
19 out of 25.
19 out of 20 out of 25. No, I think wasn't it 18?
I was 18. You said 19.
We're bad at math.
No, I'm forgetful. I just went with the first number they went
bad
to.
at math. All right. So I really hope that you guys like this review.
More will be on their way.
Yeah. Probably we'll do Foreigner next. Not sure when. Does any other important...
If it's an entire week in between, odds are not great on us doing Foreigner. We might still...
But what else would be coming? This is not stuff we should be talking about in the middle of a video. We're just boring people at this point.
We will see what we film next, but we will be back at a minimum in time to bring you Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, absolutely. That movie's going to be baller.
Oh, yeah.
All right. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If we said something you like, post it in the comments. If we did something you dislike, post that too. If you
would
dislike
love
the video,
to hear your opinions.
If you dislike the video, hell, press the thumbs down button.
We need to hear your opinions so that we can grow and continue to improve.
Oh yeah, eventually, these reviews won't be happening in a car. Probably not though, because the whole thing is
cars. These reviews are still going to be happening in cars. It brings the authenticity.
All right, so we'll see you guys in the next video.